There are no shortages of locally owned restaurants in Louisville. But here's a restaurant that works to get the ingredients for your meal within a 100-mile radius. Open a little more than 2 years, Harvest is really like bringing the farmer's market right to your table.
We like to think Harvest is exciting and different because we have really taken the farm to table idea to a high level.
So our goal is to do 80% local, and by local we mean from within 100 miles of the city of Louisville.
We won't serve a main dish and rarely a side dish whose main ingredients are from somewhere else. So we're super local all the time, all year round, regardless of season.
We're located at 624 East Market in Louisville, Kentucky. I think it fits in a couple of different ways. Louisville's been trying to revitalize their downtown for a lot of years, and I think Harvest is doing a good job of trying to revitalize local food, trying to get back to, sometimes I call it peasant food, foods that aren't normally used or generated in restaurants. The map represents our food shed. So from within that 100-mile radius that we try and get our stores from, we're trying to represent the farmers within that map. So to the left of the map are kind of pictures and bios of the farmers that we buy from, or some of them. And within that map, there's a push pin that represents where their farm is. So people can kind of get an idea of where their food comes from, a physical representation of that.
We loved when the pictures went up for a couple reasons. We thought that the idea really of making heroes out of farmers was a great idea, and was it had come too late, you know. I mean, it should have been done a long time ago. And the guy who was the photographer actually was a farm apprentice of mine. So he had a great time and made us all look good, you know, which was a blessing.
The menu can change some. The bones of the restaurant have remained the same for the most part. So the proteins have stayed the same. It's just kind of what's on the side have changed up depending on what the kitchen can get in. So chicken's always been there, beef's always been there. How they're prepared can be a little different, but it's mostly kind of what's on the side that changes quite often.
We definitely have the luxury of all of our relationships with all of our farmers, and even, you know, cheese makers, vinegar makers, you know, these artisans that really put blood, sweat, and tears into their product, and so then they pass it to us, and you know, we try to, you know, minimally manipulate it. We don't really like to add lots of extra stuff. Keep it very simple, very clean, straightforward, and then hopefully, you know, it's a quick process for all of that. So hopefully what the customer's getting is a good example as to what they could have if they went to a farmer's market and bought some of these ingredients.
For me, what's exciting about the restaurant is the opportunity to raise the visibility of the local food movement, and I feel like we've done that in spades. They really get to know their farmers personally, and you know how long it takes to bunch, you know, 200 bunches of beets or 200 bunches of radishes, and you know, thereby appreciate, you know, on all kinds of levels, you know, what the work is like.
Harvest has received lots of national attention over the past couple of years. Mentions in Chicago and New York publications, plus the Diner's Choice Award from OpenTable.com.